How smart you actually are versus how smart you think you are can totally contradict. You might have grown up hearing you're clever, but there are signs that can indicate intelligence more than random social observations and myths. Psychology looks at this very differently from us. It segments human intelligence into two major categories. One being abstract reasoning while the other being mechanical skills. Which basically means seeing someone who is quick-witted and calling them smart is not actually 100% right. This is a complex subject, and based on certain signs you can establish exactly where you stand. And in today's video, we will disclose to you top 10 signs you're more intelligent than you realize. Make sure to watch the video till the end, because point number 1 is the most surprising one. Welcome to WatchTop10.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you can stay updated with our latest videos. Number 10. You enjoy your own company. Yes. If you are one of those people who would prefer being alone most of the time, and someone who would totally avoid going to meet random people that don't interest him, chances are that you are smarter than you think. Because those who are happy on their own normally have a world of their own inside their heads. While they are on their own, these intelligent people are not sitting there sulking. Instead, they are thinking about possibilities, ideas, and phenomenons that might be simple to look at, but there's a lot more to it. And most importantly, enjoying your own company may even mean talking to yourself sometimes. And ironically enough, this too is a sign of supreme intelligence and intellect, according to psychologists. Number 9. You are a mess. From your room to your closet, from your drawers to your car. Everything around you is a mess. While people may find this to be a sign of a highly disorganized person, it is not. In fact, it reflects a person with superior intelligence. According to a research, messy and disorganized people are more involved in the world inside their heads, as opposed to the outside world. Cleaning and tidying up is listed somewhere in the bottom of their importance list, simply because their brain is occupied with some idea or the other. And they are too involved inside the world within their brain to worry too much about what's outside. So according to statistics, these people are far more creative than those who are organized and tidy. Bill Gates, for example, said in one of his interviews that he had a terribly messy room all those years growing up, and what's more interesting in the fact that he just couldn't understand why his parents wanted him to have a clean one. Number 8. You know what other people will say next. Don't creep out. As worrisome as it may sound, it is not actually. Being able to anticipate what the person in front of you might say next is actually a sign of an emotionally intelligent person. Which is an amazing thing, really. It reflects a person with empathy who can step into another person's shoes and look at things from their point of view. What's more interesting is that our brains too have something like an autofill, just like our mobile phones, and there is some anticipation driven by memory, you can say. And the stronger this is, the smarter you are. Such like intelligent people generally are open-minded and adventurous ones. They don't mind meeting new people. In fact, they like exploring new things. And that is what further enhances their intelligence level. You must keep in mind that regardless of how intelligent you may be, your mind is something you need to keep using in the right direction in order to retain your level of intelligence. Number 7. They are decision makers. If you are extremely self-reliant and depending on anyone at all for solutions, is so not your thing. And if you are super independent when it comes to taking the call, you are probably more intelligent than you realize. Such like people are aware of the fact that their decision might go right or even wrong, which could leave them in a wonderful situation, or even a terrible one. But they take the call when they have to, and they blame no one later. However, impulsive decision makers do not make it to this category. Highly intelligent people are smooth decision makers who weigh all pros and cons before jumping to a conclusion. For them to analyze statistics and also other options is very important. Because these intelligent decision makers are not here to jeopardize their interests, instead they're here to reach their bigger goals. Number 6. They think in abstract. If you remember that one weird kid in school who would sit there alone without any friends, sometimes he would be wandering aimlessly, at other times he would be observing something or the other closely, there are chances you were looking at someone very intelligent. Intelligent to the level that they could make a difference in world history when they grow up. While people might be calling this kid a loner, a loser, or even a nerd, chances are that they are future inventors who have a world of their own. When you look at geniuses in this world, the list will mostly conspire of people who were abstract thinkers. Who do everything in life in a far more unique and ununderstandable way. Let's tell you a bit about abstract thinking. So data is a total obsession in today's day and age. You'll find almost every industry in the world hiring experts to depict and measure trillions of data points annually. But all that data is literally good for nothing unless someone can tell you what it means, the patterns, the analysis. Abstract thinking is just that. It allows you to understand things which are real and big. But they're not really coming from physical and tangible things. Before we move on, don't forget to watch our other amazing videos mentioned in the description below, or by clicking on the link above. Number 5. Rebellion. Yes. Rebellion is a sign of supreme intelligence. Research has it that people who are not afraid of breaking social norms and traditions are actually the ones who have made a prominent mark in this world through their inventions and deliverables. From the very start of this world, the smart people were the ones who made new traditions as instruments to solving some social problem or the other. Slowly and gradually, those traditions were broken by rebels who found an even more useful and less problematic way of doing the same thing. And that's what's been happening for centuries. Traditions have been changing, and the people who change them are the intelligent rebels who stand against aimless rituals, practices, activities and traditions. These highly intelligent people will mostly be found saying yes to most things regular people will say no to. And they will also be found saying no to most things normal people will say yes to. Number 4. Daydreaming. Recent study by a highly acclaimed scientist suggested that mind wandering aimlessly, dreaming, fantasizing and imagining your desired situation is a sign of a highly intelligent person. A study from a highly acclaimed university in the United States suggested that taking a break from demanding tasks in order to daydream can end up giving your brain a break and an incubation period, which helps you perform better when you go back to the demanding task you were addressing to. This is driven by thoughts at the back of your mind. Apparently it's just like taking a break from your meeting when it becomes too challenging for you mentally. It's like stepping into a beautiful scenery and enjoying that for a few moments, only to come back and do things better. So if this is one of your things, you are probably more intelligent than you realize. Number 3. Doodling. Were you one of those people in class who would sit there with their notebook doodling away? And most of your notebook back pages were full of your random doodles. It could be one shape in particular for you, and that's what happens in most cases. Like you'd see 100 square boxes in someone's notebook pages, while you would see lots of trees in someone else's notebook. So yes, each individual who doodles normally has one set pattern of doodling. And that pattern itself can say a lot about your psychology and your level of intelligence. According to scientists, this is a thinking tool. And it substantially helps people think clearly and solve problems. Funnily enough, the discovery also suggested that people who doodle are actually able to recall 29% things during the period. While you might be criticizing yourself for not being focused enough and being easily tempted to start doodling, you don't have to actually. Because according to science, doodling reflects a highly focused brain, not a distracted one. Number 2. You love silence. If you don't like sitting in the middle of a million people and working, and if noise is something you just don't like, especially loud background music when you're trying to do something makes you upset, chances are that you are amongst people who are more intelligent than they realize. While you might think that highly intelligent people have the ability to entirely shut down the world around them in their own minds while they are working, that's actually not the case. They don't like being distracted. They need more space, privacy and silence than regular people so that they can do their job more effectively. Number 1. Curiosity. Yes. This is on number 1 because according to science this is actually the most important thing making you more intelligent than others. People who are always full of questions, who are always wondering, who are always trying to find new ways, are actually the ones reflecting the mind frame of a genius. They are the ones who will not study to just land themselves a job or an undergrad degree. They are the people who actually like learning and understanding things being taught at college. People with high curiosity levels are normally better listeners. Each time you tell them something, they will most likely respond in a question instead of an okay. Their minds are hungry. Their favorite TV channels are normally Discovery, BBC Earth and National Geographic. They also love watching documentaries and informative videos because it satisfies their curious, hungry mind. So next time you tell a kid they're not social enough or don't have enough friends, think about it again. Because some people are different. And different definitely doesn't mean deficient. It could also mean you're sitting next to future William James. William James, by the way, had an IQ which was around 100 points more than Albert Einstein. It all comes down to this one thing in the end. The amount of time a regular person invests in thinking of a solution to a given problem versus the amount of time a person with superior intelligence invests are very different. The intelligent person detaches their emotions from the task and stays with the problem until the solution is finally derived. And this is in particular one of the most boasted habits of Albert Einstein too. He said, "It's not like I'm cleverer. It's just that I can stay with problems longer." We hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Drop a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe.